What's happening, fight fans? It's your boy O Nice, and you watching the Fight Room TV. What's happening, fight fans? You already know it is your boy Spit Nice, O Nice, and this is the Fight Room. We are set and we are getting ready for a highly anticipated matchup Saturday, September 8th, live on Showtime and at the Barclay Center, New York City. Showtime Shawn Porter versus Danny Swift Garcia. Highly anticipated, like I said, in the welterweight division. Two elite fighters in the division, and it is definitely going down. I am excited for this fight, as a lot of fans of the sport is, especially those that stay in tune with boxing. We all know that this is one of the best fights that can be made this year, and it is definitely going down. I can't wait. A lot of boxing fans, writers, and you that are tuning in should be excited for this fight. Now, let's break this down. This is my tale of the tape for Saturday, September 8th matchup. Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia. Let's go. Now, we all know that this is for the WBC welterweight title that was relinquished by Keith Thurman, as I call him, the lost welterweight. But let's get into this. 147-pound bout. We have Shawn Porter, that is 30 years of age, and so is Danny Swift Garcia, both the same age. And let's talk about the record here. I want to talk about Danny Garcia first. He has 34 wins, 1 defeat, and 20 by knockout. And we all know that he lost to Keith one-time Thurman, which was a good fight, and it was a close fight. To me, it was pretty close, but overall, I think that Keith Thurman did enough to pull it off. But Danny, to me, did a great job in that fight. And let me talk about his record. Let me talk about his credential as far as his resume. And I think that Danny Garcia, by far, has one of the best resumes in the game right now. So let me go down the list of a few fighters that he has defeated. All right, so we're going to go Nate Campbell, Kendall Holt, Eric Morales twice, Amir Khan, Zab Judah, Lucas Matisse, Lamont Peterson, Paulie Malignaggi, Robert Guerrero, Keith Thurman, Brandon Rios. Now, these are the guys that he has faced. He has one loss, and he only lost to Keith Thurman. That's the only guy that he lost to out of the list of fighters that I have mentioned. Now, when he fought Lucas Matisse, he was a dangerous fighter. A lot of people thought that he was going to lose that fight, and actually fought Matisse beautifully. I think that was one of his best performances. If y'all look back at that fight, I seen Danny. Danny was prepared for that fight, and he did excellently well in my eyes. I know Matisse in probably the last couple of rounds was trying to, looking like he was coming back, but Danny held his own and definitely pulled it off. And I mean, he pulled it off right. He won that fight to me, hands down. You already know what happened to Zab Judah. That was a great fight. Dropped Zab Judah, cut him. And that was definitely a good fight, even though Zab Judah in the last 2 or 3 rounds started to give trouble to Danny. But Danny pulled that fight off. And we already seen what happened with Amir Khan. We don't even want to talk about that one. Eric Morales, I know that he was a veteran at the time, but still, Eric Morales, when he was at his prime, was definitely one of the best fighters of that time, and definitely a Hall of Famer and one of the best fighters that the boxing world has ever seen, of course, hands down. Then we got Kendall Holt, that he was a good fighter at that time, and he won by split decision on that one, and Nate Campbell. So, he fought good fighters. Paulie Malignaggi, Lamont Peterson, Robert Guerrero, and of course his last fight, Brandon Rios, that he knocked out, which I even predicted that Danny would knock him out. And definitely good credential resume for Danny Garcia. Now let's talk about Shawn Porter's resume. We have Alfonso Gomez. I'm pretty sure y'all remember Alfonso Gomez from the Contender Series, and he was all right. He wasn't a bad fighter. I kind of liked it, Alfonso Gomez. He had a lot of heart, and he wasn't bad, not at all. To me, he was a pretty all right fighter. And Julio Diaz, that he fought twice. The first fight was a split decision. Then in a rematch, he won unanimously. Then he fought Phil LoGreco, which I'm pretty sure many of you heard of him before. That's the guy that Errol Spence defeated probably in 3 rounds, and he got knocked out in the first round by Amir Khan. But let me say this, Phil LoGreco at that time when he fought Shawn Porter was undefeated with 25 wins and no losses. Then he fought Devin Alexander, and that's when he captured the IBF welterweight title. Then he fought Paulie, and we all seen what happened in that fight, that he knocked him out in 4 rounds. Then he fought Kell Brook, which he lost, which was a good fight as well. And Adrian Broner after that, Keith Thurman, Andre Berto, Adrian Granados. Now we all know he lost to Keith Thurman and Kell Brook. He has 2 defeats, and his 2 defeats definitely top-notch fighters, Keith Thurman and Kell Brook. Kell Brook at the time definitely was a pound-for-pound fighter and was on the top of the list in the Ring magazine for quite a while. So that is the resume of both fighters concerning their records. Now let's talk about the height. I have to apologize because I have actually Shawn Porter 5'8", and he's really actually 5'7". I have to excuse me for that. That was my mistake. And of course we see Danny Garcia is 5'8.5". The reach, 177 centimeters for Shawn Porter and 174 for Danny Garcia. We see that Shawn Porter is a smaller guy but has the longer reach advantage. Titles held, Shawn Porter had the IBF title that he won from defeating Devin Alexander and had lost it to Kell Brook. Danny held the WBC title that he won vacant by defeating Robert Guerrero and lost it to Keith one-time Thurman. But Keith, due to inactivity, relinquished the title, and now Shawn Porter and Danny Garcia are fighting for that vacant WBC title. Now let's go to the amateur record. For Shawn Porter, he had 276 wins and only 14 defeats, and Danny Garcia had 107 wins and 13 defeats. Now Shawn Porter won the 2007 Golden Gloves Championship, but then got knocked out in the Pan American Games by a Cuban amateur at the time by the name of Emilio Correa. I think that's how you say the name, because it's Cuban. But got knocked out in the second round, and the Cuban fighter became, and won actually, the gold medal for the Pan American Games when he defeated Shawn Porter. Professional debut, Porter, October 3rd, 2008, and Danny Swift, November 17th, 2007. Now, let me break this thing down and give you my thoughts overall. Good matchup, great fight, 2 elite fighters, of course, about to try to knock each other's heads off come Saturday, September 8th. And this is what I'm thinking. Now, Shawn Porter is an aggressive fighter we all know he loves to come forward. He loves to throw to the body, loves to throw to the top with both hands, likes to put hard pressure on his opponents and definitely make them put their back towards the rope, and loves to keep them there. You know, Shawn Porter is the type of fighter that if he can keep you in that rope, he would keep you there. He's a very aggressive fighter, power in both hands, and he likes to throw that arsenal. And if he can keep you in that rope, he's gonna keep you there, believe me. Danny Garcia knows how to use the ring, I think, more than Shawn Porter, to me. His jab, he likes to use his jab. And to me, Danny, of course, we all know he has power in both hands. Let me just say that. Definitely has power in both hands. We all know that he has a tremendous left hook, and he definitely has a great right hand. Danny Garcia is a good timer. I think he is a better fighter in timing a fighter more than Shawn Porter can. Danny seems more patient in the ring more than Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter sometimes looks like he gets impatient. He just wants to really rip your head off. And the thing about that, it can be dangerous for Shawn Porter, because we seen the situation with when he fought Adrian Broner. You know, I guess he built that confidence and seen and felt in his heart that he was winning the fight and wanted to keep doing what he was doing with Adrian Broner. And little to know, he got caught with a little left hook from Adrian Broner and surprised him and fell to the floor. And we all seen his face when he hit the canvas. He was kind of shocked. Now, if Danny can time him correctly, use his jab to keep him away, Danny can definitely set up that hook, that powerful left hook that he has, and possibly be able to drop or even knock out Shawn Porter. Now let me say this. Porter has a good chin. We've seen that he has a great chin. His chin was tested with Keith Thurman. And to me, I think when he got dropped by Adrian Broner, it was more like an off-balance shot. But overall, I think he has a good chin. But Danny has power now. And if he gets thrown off with himself, you know, trying to put pressure on Danny and just move forward and keep moving forward and not being patient in that ring, could cost him dearly. Now, I believe that Danny has the ability and the power to knock out Shawn Porter. Could it happen? Porter has gotten knocked out before. I know it wasn't in the professionals, but he has gotten knocked out before. Danny has never been knocked out, nor, from what I know, hit the canvas. So I believe that Danny has the better chin. Danny's chin's been tested before. I've seen him get tested. Keith Thurman tested that chin. And I think that Danny Garcia has a better chin than Shawn Porter, and a better footwork as far as using the ring to counter and do what he has to do best to win the fight. So it's a 50-50 fight overall. Let me say this, I think for sure it's a 50-50 fight. I mean, any of these guys can win. Shawn Porter, strong fighter, hell of a fighter. Danny Garcia, strong fighter, hell of a fighter as well. But I think that Danny Garcia can pull this one off. But again, Shawn Porter could pull this off too. So it's really a 50 fight. But I'm leaning towards Danny Garcia in the later rounds to pull it off. Maybe not by knockout, but by unanimous decision. And it's going to be a good fight. Overall, I think that Danny will pull it off. But there's definitely a slight chance that Shawn Porter could definitely pull it off as well. But I'm leaning more towards Danny Garcia to pull this one off. and keep going and proceeding to greater fights, and possibly maybe fighting Errol Spence Jr. for the IBF and the WBC title. Good fight, y'all. September 8th. You already know. Do not miss this fight. Live on Showtime. September 8th. Barclay Center. 2 elite fighters in the game about to try to rip each other's heads off. And make sure you guys do not miss this one, because it's going to be a hell of a fight. I believe that it's going to be one of the greatest fights of the year. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure that you like and please subscribe to my channel and share this video. Much appreciated. You already know it is your boy Spit Nice from the Fight Room. Peace.